Don't know why or how all of a sudden I started to feel a bit shroomy.
You are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I felt like the dose is just kicking in.
Perfect. Just in time for What's the Craic podcast? Episode 15.
Gang signs.
Always.
Gang gang.
This tastes so good.
Gang,
Gang, gang, gang, gang, gang. This tastes so good. Yes. We have launched our own NPC live streaming podcast coming soon. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join.
Gang gang.
No, we're not doing a bit. We need to tell them about the thing. Stop doing it. This tastes so good. Don't get me started.
It's brilliant, but not at the same time.
The internet's a wild place. Just when you think like
you couldn't get any weirder.
you knew the internet and you couldn't get any weirder. It throws one right out of left field, and you're just like, I did not foresee this happening.
Oh gosh.
Human potential always seems to surprise me, but in the most negative way. I'm just like, you have an unlimited mind, and this is what you do with it.
But this is literally what I think every time I see stuff like this. It's like, by 2023, we thought we'd have flying cars.
We actually did.
I used to draw them, and they were like, draw what the future will look like.
I can't remember what cartoon it was, but they had like hoverboards.
Yes. Oh
and
my
I was
gosh,
like,
yes.
there's 2020,
so
there's
lit.
going to be hoverboards.
Yes.
There's going to be flying cars. There's going to be this and that. None of it exists.
Not one single thing. I mean, it probably does exist. We're just not allowed it.
Yeah, they've not given it to us yet. But what does exist is people pretending to be robots online.
It's just wow. So yeah, what's the crack?
So what's the crack?
What's the crack?
So much crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, keeping on the theme of the internet with how we opened with this tastes so good. That's an interesting development in the fighting arena. Facebook's fighting Twitter, or X. The dude that builds robots versus the dude that's a lizard or is a robot. In case you're confused, it's Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. They're interchangeable. Either can be a robot, either can be a lizard. You don't know.
You just don't.
But yeah, I think they've both been training MMA, so they're gonna get in the octagon and have a fight live on Facebook and Twitter.
It's just like, what are you trying to distract us from?
It's bread and circus, isn't it? Get the two, or one of the two biggest platforms, online social media platforms, to completely distract the masses all at one go. Like, who actually cares if Mark Zuckerberg and Elon have a fight? Like, they're not fighters.
No.
They might be training, like, to fight, but you're not competitively fighting, so, like, no one cares.
I feel like that, I feel like competitive fighting is becoming a bit of a joke. I feel like anyone can fight anyone now, whereas before,
It's getting worse, though. We're going from YouTube boxers to
like influencers
to literally the social medias fighting each other. Like, when's TikTok going to step in? Whoever is the CEO of TikTok,
they're going to stream it and make money.
It's actually crazy. Who do you think will win?
It's MMA. Ooh, I want to say Elon Musk, just because I feel like he's bigger than Mark Zuckerberg. But Mark Zuckerberg really does look like a lizard.
He might have superpowers that we don't know
Yeah,
about.
I feel like he's got super strength that you can't like tell. Yeah, those ones for sure.
Do you remember when he was getting questioned and he was like,
I used to be human. Do you see that
yeah.
clip? I mean, I am human. Sure, buddy.
Right.
Sure you are.
Okay. So yeah, it's like you said. I think the main thing is to distract the masses once again.
And also, they're obviously in cahoots. You do think they've actually got beef? No, not even for 1 second. What are you fighting about?
Who's got the biggest social media platform?
Social media fighting.
I don't really see what Elon's trying to push X, but Facebook's been dead for forever.
Yeah.
And Facebook's Instagram as well. So it's like, bro, like, honestly, you couldn't have fucked up two. You had two things going for you really well, and you fucked them both.
And all you've got now is WhatsApp.
And even that,
Wow, what's that going on?
You know what I mean? We know you'd be watching our messages, so
Telegram all the way.
it's a shame, really. But yeah, my mother's on Elon. He's bigger, he's stockier. Zuckerberg might be a little bit of a weasel and a bit nimbler, but I reckon.
Is
I
Elon
reckon
fat?
he's not fat, but he's stocky.
Has he got a belly though?
I mean, last time I checked, he had, but
Because
I've not seen current Elon. He's probably been training, so I imagine he's quite trim.
okay. Because I was just thinking, like, what if he gets tired quickly? Because, like, really, he's moving from one place to another in a Tesla on the back of a robot or something. He's not walking nowhere.
He's got robots in his house doing everything for him.
Literally, like, what? Does he even know stamina?
Maybe. Who knows?
It'll be funny to see who wins or loses and to take the piss out of them for eternity, because whoever loses is going to get rinsed on social media for the rest of eternity.
I read something the other day, and it was like, because obviously Twitter's rebranded to X.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, wouldn't it be funny if Mark Zuckerberg, because they've just released Threads, in it, which is essentially Twitter.
Yeah.
If they rebranded Threads to be called Twitter, I was like, bruh, that would actually be genius. I'm imagining an X still owns the rights to Twitter.
Yeah,
though.
for sure.
But if they didn't, just slide in there and be like,
it's mine now.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
That's right.
Did you also manage to see the riots in London?
The riots in London. Tell me more.
Well, it was like I think it was like planned over TikTok, like a rushing of Oxford Street shops, where like loads of youths just planned to meet up and rob the shops. Cost of living crisis and that.
What were they robbing? Everything?
I don't know. I'm not actually sure. It was just on Oxford Street, and I saw like the videos, and there's just like a lot of kids were running around, and the police were there. People were just going mad.
They were just going mad.
They're just going mad.
London's lost it, man.
You just wouldn't even bother living there, would
it's
you?
It's not a place that I grew up loving. It's just totally derelict now. It's not safe. Prices are through the roof. The average rent's $2,700.
Yeah, that's really expensive. How are people paying for that? Is what I don't get. How is like the average person paying for that?
I think that's the average price, but it doesn't let you know that that's split between maybe 4 or 5 people living in one building. Do you know what I mean? Paying £600-700 for one room.
But what about families? The average family can afford to pay $2,700 on rent.
I guess somehow.
No, that's too much. That's too much. That's ridiculous.
People do it.
But what if you've got kids who go to school who are not earning?
People do it. It's the cost benefit of living in London, isn't it? Pay an arm and a leg to live there and struggle to have anything else left over afterwards. People do it. I don't know why, but
I just can't get my mind around that. Would you not just prefer to live somewhere else and have more money?
No.
It's just basic maths, really. Did none of y'all pay attention in school? I don't know.
I guess they've just, maybe if they've grown up there, they've lived there their whole life. It's like, what do we do?
It's difficult to move away from it. Yeah.
Friends, everything we know.
Yeah, you're right.
Our job as well. My job pays X amount at this company. Where am I going to go somewhere else outside of London? This job doesn't even exist per se. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of, there's a reason people live in big cities and pay what they do, because that's where the most of the jobs are.
Yeah, but it's like it's just ridiculous because they're paying you loads of money, but they're also charging you loads to live there. So really, the point of you working is zero.
Off. Yeah, you're no better off. If your rent's 1,000 somewhere else and you're earning 2,000, or your rent's 2,000 and you're getting paid 4,000, what's the difference?
Really, you just need to look at like your disposable income afterwards. That's exactly.
And your quality of life.
Yeah, and if where that's the most,
where that's best is where you should be. Simple as. You can earn less money somewhere else and have less disposable income somewhere else. But if your costs are lower, then it doesn't matter, does it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people don't see it that way. But London, it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't live there.
I think years ago I wanted to live there.
Yeah. Even
a couple of years ago, I really wanted to live there, but I think in light of not recent events, but like I think just going there and visiting there, I kind of realized like, oh, it'd be fun for a short period and nothing more. You know, don't think I could live. I don't think I could live there long term. I don't think I'd enjoy it. I think eventually I'd get sick of like the traffic and how long it takes to get somewhere and all these other things.
You know what it is for me? It's dirty, yeah, and everyone's miserable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you go on the tube, it just puts you in a bad mood. And if you actually pay attention to people, you're just like, I don't want to be here. Even if you're visiting on the weekend, like people.
Yeah,
are still
when we
moody.
went, how miserable everyone was.
People are still moody.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone's stressed. Everyone's like in this hamster wheel of I'm working to barely, make ends meet.
Yeah.
For what? Cost of living crisis and that. People are literally just enslaved. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like you can see it on everyone's faces, the atmosphere, plus all the crime and the danger of it all. I think it's like a phone gets stolen every minute in London.
No
every
way.
2 minutes, something mad like that. Imagine. Like honestly, like
what?
When we go to London, I actually do like keep my eyes open. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, yo, there's actually some shifty people around here. Like, I know there's shifty people up here, but damn, London's a different level, man.
Yeah.
I don't think up here like someone might just random juke me for like my phone.
Yeah.
Whereas in London, you're like, yo, these kids are actually on that shit.
Yeah.
If you've got something they want, they'll take it from you, and it's like you have to give it to them, otherwise you'll probably die.
And they don't care if you die.
Yeah, they don't care. They live like you just said about this thing in Oxford Circus. They live in like GTA life.
Yeah.
They're just like, fuck it, let's just YOLO, do whatever we want because they think they can. They think there's no like repercussions for their actions.
It's going to be interesting to see like all these people that are behaving this way, where they're going to be in like 20 years time, what they're going to be doing with their lives.
Same shit.
Because I don't, it's a bit like Paris. People think Paris is this like glamorous city. I'm involved. I also thought this as well. I thought like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so beautiful. And then I've seen like loads of people who visited it there for the first time, and they're like, oh, it's horrible. There's like shit everywhere. It stinks. Like
apparently it's worse than London.
That would not shock me.
Yeah,
because at least like London's still quite nice to visit.
Yeah. Paris is meant to actually be like, for lack of a better word, excuse my French, a shithole.
Yeah. That was good. That was real good.
Yeah. But yeah, because Dad used to go there often, and sometimes Mum went with him as well. They always used to tell me like how bad Paris was, and they always used to say like they see people getting robbed by like the Algerians there. It's like Taken.
No,
I swear down, like there's that the Algerians run it, and it's like so booky there, so booky, like so booky. You can't go out at night.
What?
Yeah, you can't go out at night. Like it's booky there.
Booky. Is that like the whole of it? You can't go out at night, or you shouldn't.
Obviously, like there's some areas that are probably safe. But
the vast majority avoid.
It's spooky. Just miss it. But it's marketing, isn't it? You got the Eiffel Tower. It's the city of love.
They've got a little bridge.
How many films are based in Paris, and how many films romanticize Paris?
Yeah.
And make it to be the city of love.
Yeah.
Like, it's like American propaganda. All you see about Paris, all you see about France is Paris.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
All you see about Paris is romance and love. And, and like coffee, a la carte, and croissants, and just like super casual but sexy, like slender, just vibes.
Yeah,
it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Like you said, it's dirty and it stinks.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started seeing people going there for the first time. I saw a TikTok of a guy who'd like saved up his money for his like dream European vacation. I was so gassed, and then got there and was like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so heartbroken. Don't do this. Don't do what I've done. Don't waste your money to come here. And he was just like in the video, just showing different bits of like Paris and like how horrible they were. And I was like, wow, it's really that bad.
The best places to go are the places that people don't tell you to go to. If no one's ever heard of it, that's probably one of the best places you can go.
Yeah.
Because not only is it not going to be a tourist trap, so it's not going to have loads of gimmicks there and be overpriced, but you also get to make your own adventures.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you go there with no idea of what it is,
then you get to figure out.
Yeah, but also you have no expectation. So how can you be disappointed?
Yeah.
If you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go check this place out because, I've always wanted to go here and whatever, it sounds cool, well, then the door's open for whatever happens.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's my dream vacation to go to Europe and go to Paris and just sit there and have like a baguette on the side of the road while someone's singing and serenading me whilst I watch the lights of the Eiffel Tower go on. meanwhile, like you're watching someone getting pickpocketed, and over here there's some kerfuffle, and it's you got a smell of someone's asshole in your nose. Like, you're going to be disappointed, isn't it?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you've just paid €11 for a croissant that was stale, bumped. So yeah, all the cities are like that. I think as we move forward, as time progresses, things get more expensive, inflation hits, people's wages aren't keeping up with that, they're struggling more. The cities are going to be
very different.
Yeah,
it's going to be like how you see in post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah. Everything that goes wrong in societies will happen first in the cities. Because it's what's the word?
Ripple effect.
No, because it's amplified in the cities because everyone's so condensed.
Oh, okay.
And it generally is where all the money is. So whatever money touches, it multiplies. If it's good in the city, then it'll become better. If it's bad, then it'll get worse. What's happened in the cities? Well, it's bad, so it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and the way that the people that are struggling look at it is, well, the cities is where there's going to be people with money. So I can go make my money there. The homeless people, the pickpockets, the thieves, the gang members, the drug dealers. They're not going to go out to the country to sell their drugs, are they? They're going.
It's true. So countries really where it's about living.
Yeah, and there's gonna be like this toss up between, shall I live in the city and have what they deem a stable job or a secure job, or shall I move out somewhere else and live a bit safer, live a bit more in the open, take a bit more risk and get paid less. But people will get fed up with what's going on in London. People will get fed up with Paris. People are getting fed up with these things. Like, you call it the mass migration in 2020. 130 something thousand, maybe even more than that. People moved from New York, out from New York to go into the country.
That doesn't shock me. It's expensive in New York.
Yeah.
It's really expensive there. And, you're paying just for the name of the city, I feel.
We'll live there one day for a bit, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Just bagels.
Just to experience it, I want to go to Bodega.
Go to where?
Bodega.
Go to the bodega.
Bodega. But how do you say it? Bodega?
Bodega.
Bodega.
I don't know what it means.
Sandwich shop, I think.
Oh, does
or
it?
Like local store.
Ah, okay. Go to the bodega.
Bodega. Yeah, I feel like they've got tasty sandwiches over there. I want to try them.
Yeah. I read somewhere ages ago that if you were to eat out in New York every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you wouldn't even go to half of the restaurants.
What?
For your whole life. Like,
what?
Try and just calculate how many restaurants there are in the time that you've got left to live if you're going to live to 100. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of places. New York's massive.
Yeah, it looks it on the yeah.
Like, I wonder what's bigger, New York or London.
Definitely New York, yeah.
Which is crazy because London's fucking
huge,
massive.
Yeah.
Like, I've not even seen half of London, and I never probably will. Especially now it's apocalypto.
Yeah.
But yeah, New York's
interesting.
Very much so. Very much so. But yeah, I think London's going to be run by youth soon.
It's looking that way. But I think as well, this whole, have you seen the whole situation with Mizzy?
Yeah. We outside. Bro, you're inside. What do you mean
you're not outside at all.
We outside. Outside where? You're sat inside. What does this mean?
Against your will.
We outside. Bro, are you celebrating not being in prison? Like, what does that mean? Like, we're outside. Like, what does it mean? Please, Mizzy, if you're seeing this, email us, drop a comment, DM, let us know. What does we outside?
What is it? Is it just a saying? Is it a code? Is it like the bat? Like the bat signal? Like, what is it?
It's like Avengers Assemble. We outside.
Yeah, we outside.
And they all these coming to Oxford Street. Right. Call it the Mizzy effect.
Yeah. Well, I think this is what I was gonna say. I feel like what they've done to him is disproportionate. I feel. So essentially, what's happened? I'll break it down. So he got sectioned under the Mental Health Act and got put into somewhere for 20 days, obviously against his will because they've done it on the thing. And anyone that has half a brain cell knows that he's not mentally unstable.
Like, he's crazy, but he's not crazy.
Yeah, he's not crazy like that. He's just outlandish.
He's like,
he's a bit wild. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's not doing anything that drunk people wouldn't do.
But you know what this is?
It's a deterrent. It's a deterrent to the youth. So they're showing through him, if you guys behave like this is what we'll do to you. And they've got the power to do it. They'll put you in a mental institute.
And this is the thing. It's like a show of force as well. It's like, yo, we can put you in a mental institute even if you're not mental.
Yeah.
Because they obviously couldn't put him in prison because he's not committed a crime.
Yes.
But they, one, need to make an example of him.
Yeah.
And two, need to stop him from doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, what can we do? Let's bend the rules and, I don't know, we'll label him crazy. Do I agree with what the shit he comes out with or what he's encouraging people to do? Absolutely not. Do I believe in free speech and his right to be able to do these things if he wants to? You know what? Fuck it, yeah. You know, to an extent, as long as you're not hurting anyone or anything, do whatever you want, say whatever you want. Do I agree with them putting an innocent person in a mental issue?
No,
absolutely not. Like, what the fuck?
And do you know what's crazy though? I don't know if he is intentionally, because I don't think he's doing anything that he does with the intention to encourage other people to do it.
No, I don't think that's.
He's just doing shit. Like, and I genuinely believe what he says. He says that I'm just doing mad shit with my friends, and sometimes like I'll record it.
Yeah.
And you know, think about like the mad shit that you've done with your friends, or like, you know what I mean. So like, the only difference is that social media is banging. He's made a social media out of it. And people watch him. Yeah. But why is that a crime for him? Why is he being punished for that? Why is he being punished because people want to look at him and want to do what he does? If you're so upset because he's not committing a crime, he's just, you know, creating a disturbance in some situations. Not always, but some situations, just being silly. And, you know, a bit of a nuisance at most. But if you're so bothered by him getting this attention, then surely talk to the social media agencies for pushing that kind of content. Because he's only got that platform because they're pushing it. So it's not really his fault, is it? What's he supposed to do? Not do the shit that he's doing? He's a kid.
And if he actually committed any substantial crimes, then he'd be in prison.
Exactly, because you know we've got laws for that. So what's the actual?
So what's going on?
Yeah,
what I think it boils down to is they're trying to set a precedent for one simple thing, and that is if you are influential. And it doesn't matter if you're directly or indirectly influential. Yes. They don't like it. Because, you know, even if you're indirectly influential in Mizzy's case, what about if he taps into that?
Yeah.
What about if he realises that?
And it's the black youth. It's the black youth that he's got influence over.
That he can guide them, good or bad, doesn't matter. The government don't like other people being in control.
Yeah, because they want to control you. They don't want anyone else to have like the option or the opportunity, which is, I think, you know, part of the reason why, you know, or a lot of the reason why Andrew Tate's so hated.
Yeah, of course.
Not saying that he's a great guy or anything, but like, you know, a lot of what he does talk about and what he says to men is to encourage them to be better in a lot of stuff that he says, not all of it. So, you know, and they don't want that. They don't want people to be empowered in any way, shape or form because...
Biggest threat ever.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see what they do with him and what he does going forward because I don't think TikTok have banned him. And I don't think Instagram have banned him. I think he was told by them he's not allowed to use it.
Or the Fed?
Yeah, I think so. I think
he got a social media ban, did he not?
By them, not from the social media. Yeah. So they've basically said to him, "You're banned from using." So
yeah, like, that's part of his tag or whatever. Yeah. Else
on. So you can't use.
Which is mad.
Like,
how can you ban someone from social media?
But the thing is, the actual platform's not banned him. Why are you banning him? It's ridiculous. But again, it's like you said, they want to control and they don't like that he's got influence. And because, you know, he can do anything with that and they want to take that away from him. So he's lost his, I mean, it's like what you said, the Mizzy effect, you know, he doesn't need to have a social media platform for people to know who he is and what he's doing. It's going to get out. Yeah, it's already out and it's going to get out.
They gave him the platform though. They put him on the BBC, whatever else he was
and on. That too, you know.
It's just like you're reinforcing the thing that you're trying to be against, supposedly. If you don't, like, you know, same with Tate, same with all these people. If you don't agree with what they're doing, don't give them a platform to speak on it, you idiots. Yeah. Your platform's bigger than theirs. What do you think it's going to do? You're giving them credibility. You're giving them authority in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, people are going to see it on the TV. Sadly, yes, people do look at TV, see the faces on there and think, oh, this person's on TV, I'll listen to them. So if you put these people on, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Their followers, it's going to reinforce what they already believe.
Exactly, yeah.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But here we are, talking about it.
No, but I think it's an interesting phenomenon that's happening in our age, I
No,
guess.
for sure.
Because when else have we seen anything like this in society?
I mean, as far as we know, this is the first time ever in history. That's why it's very interesting, isn't it? Because there's that word again. There's no precedence.
So it's like interesting to see where is this going to go.
How is reference point? There's no like, oh, this happened before in the future, and this is how it turned out. It's like, cool, we really are in the wild, wild west.
That's what it feels like, and that's why I always say like,
gang.
That's why I always say it's going to be interesting to see like where the youth of today is in 20 years time, and like what jobs are they going to be doing, if any. What's how are they going to be presenting themselves? Are they going to be doing the same thing, or are they going to grow past it? Is Mizzy still going to be doing these things in 10 years time, or is he going to have like grown past it? I mean, like, because that's the thing, isn't it? If he, I don't, he's an intelligent person, and I think if he really understands like what he's actually got and the power that he's got, then if he fixes himself up in the correct way and actually influences people in the correct way to better themselves and be better, then that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people that have been influenced the other way. So where's that? Because it could go either way. Where's that going to be in 10 years' time? It could be really good. It could be really good for people. Or if it goes the other way completely and people carry on doing these things like rioting in the streets and doing all this crime, etc., where's that going to be in 10 years? It'll amplify.
It's true.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see where it's going to go and what it's going to be. Oh.
Who's that? Yeah. I predict it gets worse before it gets better.
I predict a riot.
Because half of these kids either don't have a nuclear family to keep them in check, hence why they're acting the way they do anyway, and the other half, the parents don't care.
Yeah, because the parents are probably not not that bothered, because they're probably not that. They probably had them young.
Yeah,
they're probably doing the same shit that they're doing.
Yeah, and or the parents ain't even there because they're always at work.
Yeah, that's true.
These kids are getting raised by TikTok.
Yeah,
they're getting raised by the stage. You know what I mean? The parents ain't even in the picture, so no wonder they're so easily influenced by people that ain't even telling them what to do. They're just like, they're like drones.
Yeah, this is like kind of links to it a little bit, but there's a story of like a girl that's an influencer on TikTok, and she's just been. There's currently There's currently a court case going on because I think she blew up on social media like over lockdown.
Yeah.
Her and her mom, and her mom was having an affair with like a younger lad, and and he threatened to expose the mom.
Oh, no.
And tell everyone about the affair. So the daughter, I don't know if she did it or if she arranged for it to be done what, but like I think ran him off the road or something, him and his friend, and they indebted him to like stop the truth about her mum. I don't know the exact story if like she did it or if someone else did it, but
she didn't do that.
No, I think she was in the car. So they were on the motorway or something like that. Yeah. So we'll have to double check it, but basically we'll find out the details and we'll think it another time. But like the point that I was making is her mum was involved in that. So like, do you know what I mean? When we're talking about like, where the parents, her mum's involved with that. She's on side. She's like, run them down.
We need to. Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
So like a lot of these kids, like, what are their parents like? They're probably doing mad shit like this, as them.
Kids raising kids, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. There's so many factors as to why these kids are growing up the way they are, but it all boils down really to the parents, isn't it?
I think so.
If you're a good if you're a good parent, then it doesn't matter what's going on around your kids, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's up to you to raise them.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're giving that power to the iPad that you give them because you can't be fucked to discipline them, if you're giving it to the school, or if you're giving it to anyone else, what do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you actually expect? But I don't know. Speaking as a parent, I say we're doing pretty well so far,
Yeah. Aren't we, Alan?